Now, it's hard to have fun when you have a Marxist president who is destroying jobs, and you have a first lady gallivanting around the world, spending money like the Queen of England was in the 19th century or the 18th century, being snubbed by the president of South Africa and it not appearing in the news because they cover the backsides of the president and the first lady like never before in history. It's very difficult, and that's why I tell you we're going to have some fun in the Savage Nation. In addition to all of the news of the day, which I'm going to do, I'm going to do something that continues the discussion we started yesterday. Remember I was saying, how did we go from a time when I was a kid, for example, when even poor Italian people who were grew up in my neighborhood, they looked up to opera stars. Even the poorest Italians could sing an aria or try to sing an aria. Their role models were people such as Mario Lanza, later on Pavarotti. And take a look at the degeneracy today of a culture where Jersey Shore and the Sopranos are held up as the role models for Italians. Or take a look at the Jewish people. When I was a boy, Jonas Salk was held up as a role model. Take a look at what we have now, Anthony Weiner. When I was a boy, Martin Luther King Jr. was a role model for black people. Take a look at the rapper garbage we have today in the United States of America. And so without further ado, let's go to the wonderful sound production describing the role models and the leadership of the past to the present, from dignity to depravity on the Savage Nation.
We have fun, we're fearless. I mean, we go into the room, we kill it. We go into the club, we kill it. Photo shoots, we kill it. We're in Miami, we're killing it. On the beach, we're killing it. That's just how we do since day one.
I believe that the future generations will look back upon us and judge us as to whether we have been wise or whether we have been profligate and wasteful.
I will not yield to the gentleman, and the gentleman will observe regular order. The gentleman will observe regular order.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
I said a hip hop, the hip it to the hip hop. You don't stop the rocket to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie.
So there we go, from Pavarotti to the degenerate filth of Jersey Shore, the illiterate morons, from Jonas Salk to Anthony Weiner, from Martin Luther King Jr. to a rapper who can hardly speak the English language. Now let's go to the next one, which we put together. We're going to compare, for those of you who are not of any of those ethnicities or proclivities, we're going to go to a comparison between Dylan Thomas, a Welsh poet, and Amy Winehouse, an otherwise nobody who somebody doesn't love. We're then going to go to Edward R. Murrow compared with Chris Matthews, a man who belongs in an Alzheimer's ward, in my opinion. We're then going to show you a Hispanic gentleman named Luis Alvarez, one of the great physicists who you probably never heard of, who got where he was without affirmative action, without the government helping him along. And then we're going to compare Luis Alvarez, scientist, Nobel Prize winner, with Representative Gutierrez. Then we're going to compare Madame Curie to Lady Gaga right now on the Savage Nation.
Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
They tried to make me go to rehab. I said no, no, no.
We must remember always that accusation is not proof, and that conviction depends upon evidence and due process of law.
The feeling most people get when they hear a Barack Obama speech, I felt this thrill going up my leg. I mean, I don't have that too often.
Steady.
I was following my father's advice. I said to myself, let's just sit down in a chair and spend all evening and see what you can come up with.
In the same manner as we have stood up when the rule of law said to a woman, you will not earn equal pay. When someone of sexual orientation is abused, we say that will not be tolerated.
Magnesium oxide, 99/100%, other extraneous matter, 1,000%.
I wrote this speech, this address myself. My address to you today is called The Prime Rib of America.